Snow had been falling for days over a quiet little town, covering everything in a soft white silence. Roofs bent slightly under the weight of thick white blankets, and smoke drifted lazily from the chimneys of warm and cozy homes. Streets were almost empty, except for the occasional figure wrapped tightly in scarves and heavy coats. But high up on the fourth floor of an aging apartment building, the cold seemed to creep through every crack in the walls. Inside that narrow apartment lived Eva, a widowed seamstress, whose world grew smaller with each passing winter. Eva sat hunched over her sewing machine. The old machine trembled and clattered loudly every time she pressed the pedal. Her hands, stiff from age and years of work, moved slower than before. Her back ached with every stitch. Beside her half cup of cold tea lay her nearly empty wallet. She counted her coins again, out of habit rather than hope. Christmas was 2 days away, yet nothing in her apartment hinted at the holiday. No tree, no candles, no food besides a small piece of bread. Her son worked abroad and could not come home. Her daughter lived far away, trying to build her own life. Eva understood all of it, but the silence in her apartment felt heavier than any winter storm outside. That evening, as the wind rattled the window frames, Eva heard something unusual. A knock on her door. She froze. Visitors were rare. Another knock followed, softer than the first. When she opened the door, she found Lucia, the young girl from next door, hugging a torn winter coat tightly against her chest. "Mrs. Eva?" Lucia said shyly. "Mama said maybe you could fix my coat. I know it is late, but I am cold." Her voice trembled slightly, more from embarrassment than the weather. Eva felt her heart soften instantly. Eva lifted the coat in her arms. The seams were ripped open, the pockets were hanging loose, the zipper was broken, and the fabric had been thinned by years of use. "I will try," Eva whispered gently. Lucia smiled with relief and slipped back into the hallway. The old seamstress sat down and began to work. Even though her fingers cramped and her eyes stung with fatigue, she continued to sew. She remembered her own childhood, the winters spent in thin coats, and the painful feeling of being forgotten. That memory gave her strength. She worked late into the night, the sewing machine humming softly in the quiet apartment like a tired lullaby. By morning, the coat looked almost new again. It was sturdy, warm, and carefully repaired. Lucia returned, and when she put it on, her eyes sparkled with joy. "It is warm again. Thank you," she exclaimed. "Mama said we have no money now, but I made you something." She handed Eva a tiny box wrapped in old newspaper and tied with a thin piece of string. Inside was a small heart-shaped ornament made from cardboard, painted bright red and decorated with shiny candy wrappers. "It is not much," Lucia said softly, "but it is a heart. Mama says people who help others deserve one." Eva felt her throat tighten. She had not received a gift in years, certainly not one made with so much innocence and care. That evening, Eva placed the little ornament on the only branch she had in her home, a bare twig she had picked up from outside weeks earlier. She had hoped it would become a tiny decoration one day. The red heart glowed warmly in the dim light of her apartment. Although the room was still cold, the ornament felt like a small fire warming her chest. As she looked through her frosted window, she noticed something unexpected outside. Between her balcony and Lucia's, a lantern hung on a wire. Its warm golden light flickered softly in the winter wind and stretched directly into Eva's room. Lucia and her mother appeared on their balcony. "We thought you might like some light tonight," Lucia's mother called out gently. Eva pressed a hand to her chest. No one had done something like this for her in a very long time. Tears gathered in her eyes, not from sadness, but from a quiet and unexpected joy. For the first time in many years, Eva did not feel alone. The small lantern outside, the cardboard heart, and the kindness of a child wrapped around her like a warm blanket. It was not a grand celebration. There was no feast, no tree, no carols, yet her apartment felt full. Full of light, full of warmth, full of connection. In that moment, she understood something deep. Christmas did not need wealth, decorations, or crowds. It needed only a human heart willing to shine. And so, in that little 4th-floor apartment, surrounded by bitter winter cold, Christmas finally arrived. Not through gifts, not through tradition, not through celebration. It arrived through kindness that warmed more deeply than any fire, and through a cardboard heart that held more value than gold. And if this story reaches you, even for a moment, carry its warmth into your own winter. Remember that even a small gesture can brighten someone's darkest night. Let this Christmas be filled with kindness, quiet comfort, and sincere love. With all my heart, Merry Christmas.